And it says we are live. I'm here. You're beautiful. It's Thursday night. That must mean it's time for GotBot Goes live. I, of course, am your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, a.k.a. GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share. Of course, subscribe. And while you are at it, light them up, baby. Hit the notification bell, please. Helps me out a ton. Let you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. Just going to adjust my mic there a little bit. All of that's in the description down below. Also in the description down below. And if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring. Or, of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. Of course, a ton to kind of talk about tonight with NYCC day one underway and everything coming out of that. Takara, they released a whole bunch of updated, I guess, stock images for what their next batch of pre-orders and whatnot will be. There's a very important pre-order that is just gone up today. A couple of more going up tomorrow. We'll talk Blokees. We will talk a little bit, touch on a TFCon guest. There's a whole lot. And of course, we will do trivia, and we will, of course, do tonight's unboxing, though I have a feeling you probably have an idea where this one is going, though I've had a couple of guesses so far, and they have not been correct, which sort of kind of shocks me, to be honest with you. But we'll see as we go. I just need to make sure I kind of got everything here and situated tonight. Let's see here. Oh, bear with me here a second, guys. Bear with me here just a second. Hey, Marcus. Hey, Matthew. Hey, Big M. Hey, other Matthew. No, say Matthew. Sorry. There's so many Matthews that I tend to get confused sometimes with them. So I do very much apologize for that, Matthew. You deserve better from me, my man. Hold on. I got a buddy of mine who says his Walmart has a ton of Runamucks in Missouri, and he's going to see if he can get one and send to me. Good luck. I hope you get it. I mean, I'm glad to see Runamuck getting a reissue. A lot of people have asked about Runabout. No, I haven't heard anything about Runabout, but I'll say this. With Runamuck getting the reissue, you got two options. Either you can buy two and actually paint one black, which some people did do. I think you're going to get a lot of paint rub that way, but that's just me. I got to believe that if you are patient, that Runabout will probably also get a reissue. I mean, Thrust just got his, and I think it was overdue, as did the other Coneheads. I feel like from the Earthrise era that a lot of people missed stuff, because we've also had like reissues of the Trailbreaker and the Sunstreaker, and I guess in a roundabout way, because of the Devastation game versions, the Wheeljack and the Sideswipe. Point being, if all of these are getting a chance all these years later to have a reissue, I feel like it would be kind of silly to do Run Amok and not follow it up with Runabout. As a matter of fact, because Run Amok just sort of showed up and didn't come with kind of any fanfare whatsoever, it makes me feel like the announcement will be when Runabout comes. Hold on, I want to check something here. I want to see what this is. What's this? Oh, okay. Okay, that was just a notification, I guess. So I mean, time will tell, but I feel like if you are patient, your patience will be rewarded. Make of that what you will. No, I don't know anything. I just feel that's what my gut tells me. Hey, hey, Maximal 10 Blue. Hey, Master Fire. You're going to NYCC tomorrow. Enjoy, man. We're going to touch on that tonight. So you kind of get to wet your whistle just a little bit. Way better than going to work. That's where I got to go tomorrow. There was also a runabout, or sorry, runaround variant. Yes, there was runaround. Yes, there was that variant as well. You're right. You're right. I thought runaround worked great for that ground soldier, honestly. What? Seriously, Hasbro should have sold the Battle Charger. Yes, I think that the Battle Charger should have been sold in a 2-pack as well. I agree. Hey, Albert, the voice of Windblade from the Prime Wars trilogy is going to be there. Cool. Okay. How about we jump into the news? Why not? Let's do that. And we're going to start right here with the last bit of Wonderfest Shanghai that we didn't cover last week, and it was the official product. We hadn't seen that news when we went on the air. It didn't come in until after, but that's where we're going to begin. Boom, there you go. Okay. So, this again coming out of Wonderfest Shanghai. Just as a very quick recap, the things that were shown there was the Missing Link Nemesis Prime, the Missing Link Ultra Magnus, the MPG 16 Nucleon Quest Optimus, which looks like a Nemesis Prime, the Adamus Machina Predaking, and the MPG 17 Optimus, which is, as far as I'm concerned, a Studio Ox version. That's what it looks like to me. Nice setup. You can see the Predaking here. He looks great. He looks beautiful. Again, in Canadian dollars, I've seen his price be $629. I mean, it's the size of a main line. I don't know what makes this, you know, by the time you put in shipping and taxes, I mean, I don't know what makes this $700. I'm sorry. It's beautiful, but $700. I see two. I could see $200, but that's where I'm to with it. As for the Nucleon Quest Optimus Prime, it is the Super Ginrai, basically, done in black. I don't know why they went this route rather than just doing it as a Nemesis, but whatever. I'm not angry about it. It looks cool. I kind of like the blue and white line on the side of the all black deco. I think that looks kind of neat. I think it's really eye popping. Nucleon Quest. I don't know. It doesn't speak to me, but it's neat. We've seen Missing Link Magnus. I mean, a lot of people are very smitten with the guy. I understand why. It's not for me, but if it's for you, I respect it for sure. He does have a lot going for him. He is quintessentially G1, as is the Nemesis Prime here. I like the look of this. Again, it's just the Missing Link Optimus done in Nemesis colors. I do like the teal lines on the trailer rather than the typical blue. And of course, the Decepticon logo and the Decepticon logos on the shoulders. I mean, if you buy it that Nemesis Prime is Decepticon, cool. I've always ascribed to the belief that he is a harbinger of Unicron, but that's just me. There's obviously a lot of evidence that he is a Decepticon. This is the MPG 17 Optimus. Cool looking. A lot of little nods here to different eras from Studio Ox to live action and whatnot. It's neat. I don't know if we needed another Masterpiece Optimus. If you like this, cool. I've heard that one of the trailers works with it. Don't remember if it's MP10s or MP44s. I'm not a Masterpiece guy, really. So this, again, doesn't speak to me, but it's neat to see, no doubt. Bit of a closer up here of the Nucleon Quest version of Optimus, though the glare here didn't really help things. I do love the look of his trailer and the truck mode. Very, very nice looking indeed. And we're right back there to the beginning. So we can go back into that. That was just something to kind of touch on there. I'm not going into a bunch of pictures of the Devastator appreciation thread. It's fine. It's fine. It's a good Devastator. Replacement Omega or Haslab Omega Primes coming now. Basically, there's a white box that the Optimus is in. So the Magnus is going to come separately. There's a white box. That's going to be in a brown box, by the way. The white box is the Optimus. It's just the front of the cab, though. Early people were told to send back the entire thing. So it has been suggested, and if this is you and you sent back your entire Omega Prime and you're waiting for the whole thing to get replaced, you should contact Hasbro customer service and make sure that your claim, your order, whatever, your case is still open, because so far all you have gotten replaced would be the main Optimus, not the rest of his super mode, not the rest of his trailer, so to speak, and not the Magnus yet, but the Magnus is coming separately. Interestingly, the repair seems to be that there was no new tooling or anything like that. All they did really was sand down the slider, and then the notches on the side looked like that they were shaved off, cut off. I mean, Okay, if they did that at the factory, I guess fine. But a lot of people that own this already discovered that fix by themselves. Like, I guess it saves you the hassle of having to take yours apart and do it, but it's not like they really fixed it. They're just doing the fix that the community came up with. So if that's good for you, cool. Um, that said, I mean, here it is, right? Like I said, it's just that front part, right? It's just that front cab part. So you're definitely going to want to make sure that you're getting the whole thing replaced. I mean, it makes me wonder, and the Magnus, of course, in a separate brown box. It makes me wonder if they actually even made a profit off of this, having to replace so many. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Haslab shouldn't be a thing. It shouldn't exist. It's bad business. You've had too many problems. I don't know. It's just I don't see it as continuously viable. And if they did still make a profit off of it, having to redo all of these, then that makes me ask the question, how much did you mark this up? If you had to replace pretty much all of them from what I've been able to gather, if you had to pretty much replace all of them with a second run and you still made a profit, then how much was it marked up in the beginning? Like, how much could the price actually have been? This is weird. This is a I don't remember what this is called. I'm going to find it there now. A Zero Gummy Yummy Surprise. And in these, if you eat the little fruit strip things, there's a little egg in there, kind of like a Kinder Surprise. And you open it up, and there's one of 9 little figurines in there. So you can get Optimus or Optimus in vehicle mode, Megatron or Megatron in vehicle mode, which I do think is kind of neat. B in vehicle mode. And then I like this Wheeljack in robot and vehicle mode. I don't think any of the robots have articulation. And then I don't know what this 9th one is over here. I have no idea who this character is supposed to be. Can't say as I really care. These things aren't sold here. I've never seen this. I don't know what this is. I don't know. Cool, I guess, if you want little figurines. Don't eat the figurines. That's my life advice for the day. Don't eat the figurines. This is the fix, basically. Like you can see this side and on the other side shaved, not shaved down, sanded down. Kind of a sloppy job. I don't know. I think you could probably do it yourself and save the hassle. And there's a notch apparently as well that was also cut off. But I mean, how is that any different than me, for example, cutting off the notches on the back of like the War for Cybertron, Megatron, or Flame's legs? Same thing, really, right? Let's be realistic here. In the UK, a whole ton of stuff out in the UK this week. And it includes everything from the Studio Series G1 Megatron, the More Than Meets the Eye Perceptor pack, Bumblebee, the Studio Series Transformer, or I should say Studio Series 116 Bumblebee, Studio Series 1 Starscream, the Motu Man-at-Arms, and Skeletor, the More Than Meets the Eye War for Cybertron, Optimus, and Megatron, as well as Devastation Sideswipe. Didn't see Wheeljack mentioned, but I would believe he's out there too. So if you live in the UK, whole ton of stuff dropping this week, much like I mentioned last week with a lot of stuff in the US. Speaking of the US, Retro Sea Spray has finally been sighted at Walmart. It was a Walmart in Conway, Arkansas, where he was seen. So if you've been waiting for the Sea Spray to show up, cool beans, he is showing up there now. Also, and we'll touch on this later, possibly, but the Wheelie and the Outback. Word is that those two will be part of the NYCC Walmart Collector Con tomorrow. So those pre-orders, I suppose, will go up at some point, apparently, tomorrow for Outback and Wheelie, if you're not confident they're going to show up in stores near you. Though, I got to say, the retro lads have shown up here pretty early and pretty regularly. Shocked to say that, but the Brawn, the Sea Spray wasn't abundant, but he seems to be fairly readily available at the moment. Now, I could go tomorrow and might make a big liar out of me because I've seen a couple of people post pictures today and yesterday, and I've seen a few Sea Sprays. They might be sold out. I don't know. But and same with the Gears. The Gears was around for quite a while. I think he's kind of weeding his way out now. So I would think that the wheeling and the Outback will be there. But if you're in the U.S., at least in Arkansas, at least in Conway, Arkansas, Sea Spray is starting to come out. TFCon Chicago, speaking of the United States, will run October 24th to the 26th. Latest guest announcement is Michael Dobson, best known as Starscream from the Unicron trilogy, all 3 parts. He'd done another couple of Unicron trilogy characters as well, but definitely best known for Starscream. We'll go up here. The latest Blokees wave, which we will go into here. But I'm just going to very quickly now kind of tell you, this is the Traitor to Tyrant full reveal. These are 5.5 centimeters. They're a little bit chibi. 14 points of articulation. They include in robot mode, Sideswipe, Sunstreaker, Galvatron, Jetfire, Cyclonus, Viewfinder, which is an interesting addition, Shattered Glass Soundwave, and what they're calling Brilliant Optimus Prime. It's just a clear Optimus Prime. In vehicle modes, Jetfire, Onslaught, Swindle, and I like this, Roller and Optimus Prime's Trailer. That's an interesting one. And then a few chase offerings being Shattered Glass Jetfire, Special Armor Jetfire, Metallic Galvatron, and Armor Galvatron. So again, the blocky stuff comes so fast and furious. I really don't know how they managed to get all of these designs and molds and everything else done as quick as they do. But as I said, a little bit super deformed in this case, a little chibi, right? There are the first couple of lads. The Jetfire, he's cute. Galvatron, right? I mentioned all of these. Cyclonus, Galvatron, Scourge. That's a pretty cool look. I mean, they look so adorable. Shattered Glass Jetfire is beautiful. Viewfinder, it's obviously a toy accurate deco, which is a very interesting way of going about it. I like this. I like the Cyclonus. I think it looks pretty good. As a Shattered Glass Soundwave always looks good. I don't care who's doing them, if he transforms or not. He always looks good. Love the plane mode for Jetfire. The Optimus with his trailer, of course. And Roller with the trailer. I really, really like this. I think that's super cute. The Clear Optimus, or Brilliant Optimus, if you will. Looks great with his trailer. Onslaught looks real good in vehicle mode. Really impressed with how Onslaught turned out. And Swindle. I think in this wave, I think I prefer the vehicle modes. I guess this is probably, this is the special armor Galvatron, which I don't know what the armor is. It just looks like he has a sword and a blast effect. I guess that's armor. I suppose. And this is the, I'm going to say special armor Jetfire, where he has like that arm blade thing, which is cool, and some blast effects behind him. I don't know if I so much call this armor, though. I don't know. Maybe. And I guess this is the metallic version, which looks neat. You know, if you're into these guys, then, you know, this wave looks pretty good. I prefer the vehicles because I'm not into the super deformed stuff myself. Also, Amazon got a whole bunch of stuff on now for, I don't know, Amazon days. It's not Prime days, Amazon deal days or some nonsense. But if you look, it's pretty much all of the like Wreck and Doom, Wreck and Rule, you know, Mayhem Attack. It's the Amazon exclusive stuff that's on sale. Some great items in there, though. If you didn't get them before, I mean, snag them up now on a deal, you know, snag them up now. Why not? Especially if you're looking to get a Ruckus, you know, why not? Or an Iron Fist. Why not? Or Physitron, I think they call them. Why not? I'm going to go to this page here. And I'll mention this now. Yo, if you were interested in the Nemesis Prime, this is your chance. The pre-orders are now live for the Nemesis Prime with the 3 little lads. Unfortunately, you're going to pay a hefty price tag for it because I think it's being priced as like a leader class or something, when really you're getting a Voyager and some Minicons. And that's not okay. It's the same thing that they're doing, for example, with Soundwave. You're getting Soundwave and 3 little cassettes. That's not a leader class. It's a Voyager that you're throwing some doodads in. The mass isn't there. They're trying to trick us. That said, if you really want this, what other options do you have, right? They kind of got you by the short and curlies, as the saying goes. Okay, I'm going to go down here for a moment to the bottom and check in with you guys. Got to go up here a bit. Let's see. Actually, I got to go up here quite a bit. Battle Chargers, Jump Starters, Clones. Yes, they all should have been in 2-packs. I agree. Dr. Wu showed renders for Micromasters, Flak, and Sunrunner. They look great. They did, and hopefully we'll see more of that. I don't have images of it yet, but you're right. Which is nice that they're doing Flak and Sunrunner. Let's see if they're able to do others, because it's a great way to kind of round out some of the 2-packs and make them 4-packs. So I like that. I might be in for that, actually. I think that's, with what they've done with the like cassettes and stuff, I think they would do a splendid job, honestly. Thoughts on the metal cardbot figs? They look pretty. You know what, Master Fire? One other person has mentioned that name to me. I don't know them. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have any thoughts on it. I don't have a clue what it is. If it's not Transformers and it's just like other transforming robots, I'm probably not interested, to be honest with you. I don't know the fiction. It's one of these weird Korean things from what I hear. I'm not impressed with any of the Korean stuff I've looked at, but I know that they all have their own fictions and stuff. So it's definitely not going to be anything for me, but I guess kind of look like, yeah, see, they kind of look like Unicron Trilogy figs, which I'm not a fan of. So I don't think it would be for me. Hey, Joe. Hey, Francis, if I didn't say it earlier, bud. Why do we hate the Micromasters but love the Minicons? I don't like Minicons and I love Micromasters. I'm the opposite. I have zero interest in Minicons. I have zero interest in Unicron Trilogy. It's not me. And I don't want any Minicons. I love Micromasters. I got all of them, the updated ones. And I reviewed as many as I could from Maximal 10 like a few years ago, because he had a ton of the originals. So I don't know. I love them. I love Micromasters. Don't really care for Minicons. Not a Masterpiece guy either. I don't see the value. I start watching reviews. I don't even get through reviews of them because I see them start to do the transformation and it all explodes. Like, I think it was Maximal 10 sent me like this video, and it was fairly short, of like the rat trap, and it showed the transformation. And as soon as I saw his body exploded, I was like, yeah, I'm out. This is just a mess now. I'm already getting anxiety looking at this. It doesn't look fun, and I have no interest in it if it's not going to be fun. And that's what I think I like about mainline. Usually they're fun. Not always. They don't always hit the mark, of course, right? And I don't understand the value. It's like I said, like that Predaking, $620 or $30 plus tax plus shipping. No thanks. You know, I think the Super Ginrai, I think it's beautiful, but all in, at least in Canadian dollars, I mean, you're looking at about $400 or $500 for a toy. No, like that's what I expect to spend on like appliances for the house, not for a friggin' toy. You know, I don't like spending $40 on a deluxe. I think that's insane. Deluxe should be $20. It's very simple. So I don't get it. I can't say I'm impressed with it when I feel like it's crazy overpriced, you know? And some people would be like, you know, this is the best Optimus Prime ever or something. Well, it should be like MP44 should be the best. The thing was like $700 or $800 by the time it was all done, and conversion and taxes and shipping. Like, yeah. And even if it's not any good, you're going to lie to yourself because you have to justify that purchase. We've all done it. I've done it. We've all done it. So I don't know. I just, to each their own. It's just, when I say that it's never interested me, I mean, it's never interested me. And I'll go back in time to like when the cars that would come out were like $80. You know, and when I say the cars, I mean like your side swipe and stuff, right? And the Datsuns, when they were like what, $60, $80. And back then I was like, that's nuts. A deluxe at the time was like $12, $13. Like, I get that. I'm not paying $60 or $80 for it. No. Nowadays, yeah, I would. But back then, no, I thought it was a crazy price then. I mean, to each their own. It's just, I don't get it. Let's see. Still don't have my email for my replacement Optimus. About to contact Hasbro about it. I would. I remember when I contacted their customer service about my missing tire on Punch Counterpunch, and they were going to send me something of equal value. And I waited 8 weeks, and then I contacted them again. They were like, "Oh yeah, that was closed, but nothing was sent." I was like, "Well, great. That's wonderful customer service." And then they sent me a friggin' Cyberverse Ultimate Megatron. Garbage. You should have just taken one of the figures that you guys got on display in your like corporate offices and pop off the tire and put it in a little envelope and mail it to me. It was the cheapest thing to do because it was the like gang molded tire that was used on like 8 or 9 or 10 molds. It was, I'm sure they had one. Hey Goku, I found out Jeff Bridges and Tony Todd are birth twins. I don't know what birth twins means, but okay. Uh, if the fix works, okay, I guess. Still feels really cheap considering it's a $300 fig. I agree. Their fix is something you could do yourself. No, I would want it remolded for that price. I think Micromaster discrimination is easy to lose and minicons are small but accessible. I don't know. I think the Micromasters were a lot more accessible. Lara Kaiser needs to be absolutely perfect or goodbye Haslab. I think so too, because you had problems with the Unicron. Then you had problems with the Star Saber. I think the Death Source was, I don't think there were issues with him. Now you got problems with Omega Prime. Like, the problem is, this is something that you're saying is a one and done run. The problem is, you're saying it won't be done again, and this is made to order, and all this. Let's call it what it is. It's bullshit. It's all marketing nonsense so that they can scam us and overcharge us. It is what it is. I I think that this is a very telling situation. I really do, and I think Francis is right. I think the Lyle Kaiser has to be absolutely perfect because they're making far too many mistakes. Way too many. And even if they're replacing this now, you got to wait around for it to come. You got to ass around with sending it back and stuff. Like, no, it's not good enough. It's really not. And it's really time that people, I guess, start holding them accountable for it. Cardbots looks kind of sick. Hope it does well. Hasbro could really use the competition. Hasbro should have stayed in the studios, not toy design. Maybe. I don't know about that. I think they could do toy design. I think they just got to make it and put it on the bloody shelf. Simple as that. Stop getting fancy. Make sure what you're doing is good first before you try to get fancy with it. I want to buy the new Outback, then buy it. Anybody saw the Transformers alt mode 85 video on YouTube? Originally Facebook from a fan. Looked pretty good. Nope. Can't say as I did. I forgot the retro Braun. What? I got the retro Braun this week, which is really telling. Which I was telling Dennis about. Haven't seen Sea Spray yet. The Braun is pretty good though. It's a great mold. My face when Wheelie gets like 3 different figures over 5 years. Here's the thing. I think that from the waist down, the wheelie is a reuse, maybe slight remold, but generally a reuse of Sure Shot. You look at the new Sure Shot images from Takara, and it looks a lot like the lower body on wheelie. Not exactly the same, but a lot like it. You'll see when we get there. I saw a lot of used Legacy Soundwave. I am guessing people are ordering the new Soundwave and trying to sell the Legacy one. Yeah, probably. And I don't know I still don't know how I feel about the new one, honestly. I don't like it being sold as a leader when it's obviously a Voyager. And I'm sorry, but it should come with the 3 cassettes anyway at a Voyager price, not a leader price. And for a leader price, there's some paint that's missing that should be there, I think. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'll be great in hand. I thought TFCon Chicago was postponed. I can't imagine that. I can't see it being postponed. Too much business, vendors. No, there's no way that would be postponed. Absolutely far too much business and too many logistics. Just wouldn't work. Wherever you heard that from is wrong. Hi, everyone. How are y'all doing? Says Lance. Picked up Studio Series Perceptor 3-pack. I love Blokees. So do a lot of people. Maximal 10 loves them. They are very, very popular. And I guess it's because they're also decently priced, right? They're accessible. That's the thing. They're accessible. I saw a review of the new 86 Blokees figures. The Jetfire is cool because people can ride on him. I guess I'm not a model kits guy, see, like I said before. So it kind of goes over my head, but they are very popular. Swindle's headlights make it look like it has a face on the grill. Maybe I could see that. I could see that. I didn't really think about it, but I could see the argument for that. Hey, Quentin, should have been called weapon effect. Yeah, I agree. It probably should have been called weapon effect rather than armor. Let's see. I know I'm skipping some stuff here, guys. Blockies are the goat. Just trying to find a buzzsaw for Soundwave. Blaster with eject is a Voyager, but Soundwave with 3 cassettes is somehow a leader. Right. Exactly. And honestly, let's not forget that the War for Cybertron Soundwave came out with also, I don't know if it was 2 or 3 cassettes, and that was Voyager priced. At least it was here. So why all of a sudden is this leader price? It's called a scam. It's called a scam, and they're playing us for fools. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. And before anybody says, "Oh, you're a complainer," no, for the love of God, have some self pride in your bank account, guys. Come on. And you know what I'm seeing? More and more often, people are getting sick and tired of it now. Man, look, it's time to eat the rich because the only reason all of this happens, frankly, is because they're looking to make profits for rich investors that are on their board of directors. That's the only reason any of this stuff exists outside of just regular business. And guess what? It's not working. And the investors keep saying, we want more profits and we want more profits. You got to change things. Sometimes simpler is better. Go back. I think it was a good idea to just go back to mainline Studio Series MP. You simplified it. I think less releases and more reissues is a good idea too. You simplified it, but you got to address your pricing. Same thing. I see it in wrestling too. Right now, one of the big debates, and I know I refer to wrestling sometimes, but one of the big debates is that a ticket to a WWE event is a crazy expensive thing. Why? Because WWE is pricing it like a premium sports event. AEW is pricing their tickets good and low to bring in families. They're a different business. Right now, both of those, I find it very difficult to even call them competition because they're in very, very different markets and stratospheres. And I got to say, I think that your premium pricing will work as long as you're traveling globally and you keep your live events down because it's not happening so often. But you can't keep increasing the ticket prices because, if a front row ticket to a WWE event is $1,500 and that's starting, like, who the hell is sitting around saying, you know what, I'm going to spend that and then get a hotel and the gas and the events and the merch? Like, eventually people are going to get sick of it and say, man, every 2 or 3 years, I don't have $3,000 or $4,000 to just spend to go to this 3-hour event. It's going to hit a ceiling sooner or later. I hope sooner than later. Okay, so Takara showed off a bunch of images. Love Quintus, man. This is beautiful. Yes, he has feet. Yes, they're translucent. Yes, you should stop being a big baby about it and say, that's going to break. No, it won't. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Think of all the things I've told you over the years. Have I ever steered you wrong? No, I'm not steering you wrong now. This is beautiful. Weird alt mode, but this looks quintessentially Quintesson-esque. And since he's the prime of the Quintessons, it makes sense. Obviously, the Ember Stone is up here. Looks beautiful. Love it. Love it. Blast off. Yes, this is definitely a version of the slingshot air raid mold for sure. Obviously, adapted a little bit more to be a shuttle with the blasters on the back, and the nose is a little more rounded and stuff. But it's definitely that. Some remolding, but it's definitely that mold, right? Like the hands now, for example, they got the weird shape to them that Blast Off typically has, right? That weird shape around the hands where it looks like they're backwards. But with that bit of remolding, look at the chest and stuff. It's obviously a retool of that. And look at the lower body here with the tires behind the legs. No, I'm not saying it's exactly the wheelie, but I think the wheelie is borrowing a lot of parts here. I really do. I think the wheelie is borrowing a lot of lower body parts here. I like this. Spoil Sport is crap. He really is. He's not good. I'll replace Spoil Sport, but Sure Shot, love him. Love him. Think he looks great. This is tremendous. About time we got him. Long, long, long overdue. I would say since Kingdom. I'm looking at Quick Strike here. Again, I love it. I love the original. I feel like that this is very similar to the original. Definitely not the same. If you look at the torso, the transformation is definitely a little bit different. This head sculpt is definitely better than the original. Some people have reported breakage on the translucent of the original. This obviously doesn't have that. Some people have said over time the ball joints on the original get loose. I've never noticed it with mine at all. I guess you might have the same concern here. I feel like the opening in the middle of this hand, for lack of a better term, I feel like that's going to be able to hold a blast effect. I like this. I think I'm in for this update. I don't know how different it is from the original, but here's the nice thing. If I still have the original and this is garbage, then I can keep the original. If I like this better, well, my son will get the original because he still has a lot of my original Beast Wars offerings, right? That's kind of his collection. This looks great. I think it looks wonderful. I think it's a very good update to a very weird character. This is already out here, of course, because it's a Walmart exclusive, but it's brilliant. Get it. If you don't have it, you've been wondering, get it. I'm not a Unicron Trilogy guy, but this is excellent. Like I said, I'm not using it as sideways. I plan to also get the Voyager, and I plan to use the movie as sideways, the Voyager as double face, and this guy for me is Noise Maze. And I'm going to have them exist as 3 separate characters. This is jalopy. I mean, either you like this mold or you don't. We've had it a few times. Do you like it or do you not? Pardon me. I mean, it's a nice looking use of it for sure. And I like the Junkion, so I might be in for it. This is the MP G Soundwave. And again, I talked about it before. Look at the proportion of the shoulder, the bicep, and the upper arm. I think that is Soundwave. I think that's G1 Soundwave. That's not the proportions of the Studio Series one. The Studio Series one has a big, chunky shoulder, a teeny tiny bicep, and a big, chunky forearm, a la Devastation. That's just where my headspace is with it. Maybe yours is different. This looks great. It's the MP13 that's been redone in toy accurate colors. Same with the Laserbeak. The Laserbeak looks fine, you know. Again, you have the outline of the like Energon cube coming out of his chest. Laserbeak can go on his arm. I mean, all the stuff you would typically expect from Soundwave, right? But it looks like he only comes with Laserbeak. Studio Series Air Arachnid. Again, I said this before and I'm going to say it again. If you do not have Night Countess and you are a fan of Transformers Prime or just a fan of the character of Air Arachnid, this is a great version of her to get. I think the robot looks really cool, very different, very unique, very menacing. And her Cybertronian helicopter-ish, VTOL-ish alt mode, I think matches the character as well. It obviously flies. It's obviously weird. It's obviously Cybertronian, but I think that's okay considering she's on Cybertron, right? I like that you can use the extra legs to give her even more stability. I like this. I do. I think it's a very interesting take on the character. Weird design, but an interesting take. I mean, this is also terrific. Though I will say the body looks kind of hollow back right here. I really do feel like if we're looking at Wind Charger and being honest with ourselves, there's a lot of hollowness there. I feel like the movement around the head and neck is going to be a bit janky. I really do. I think it's going to be a bit of compression and expansion. I I'm looking at this and I feel like the movement around the head and stuff is going to be very similar to what we got with the Titans Return or Power of the Primes version, which is a bit of a weird movement. Time will tell. Everything still folds up into the legs. God, I hope it's more successful. And I hope the plastic is more robust than it was with Widow. Now, some people came to me after the Widowmaker review and said, hey, there's a trick to putting in her blasters in the legs. You got to put them in at this angle. I've done that. I've seen the tips. I've seen the tricks. I've tried it. They don't work on mine. The rectangular, I'm going to call peg, just pushes out of the slot. I can do what I like, but it won't stay in there because it's too big for the slot. I'm guessing I got a dud. Same thing with the hips on mine. I mean, no friction at all on one of them. It doesn't fall off, which is weird, but it's just no friction. A couple of people said, hey, you can turn out the door and then kind of push on the hood to start to get it to come up. Does not work on mine. There's no way you're getting a fingernail or anything in around the door. It is all such a tight fit and tolerance that on my copy, that's not happening. Impossible. Will not happen. Not possible. But luckily, it looks like, because a few people have brought it up, it looks like mine is a dud and most of them aren't as bad. But I could tell you now, it's pretty much going to be worst figure of the year. Expect her to be my number one, which is heartbreaking to me because I absolutely love the idea of the character. Very heartbroken by it. This, however, looks great. I guess this is not his blast effect. It's his ability, right? For what? Not his. It's not force field. It's like magnetism or something. I can never remember what it's called, but he looks great. He does. Looks wonderful. I like seeing the Takara stuff because we usually get some more detail from it. Jada toys. I mean, I guess it converts. It's an RC Bumblebee. It looks like trash. I've seen the Optimus and stuff. Like, this takes up a lot of shelf space, and I just don't see the fun factor here. Even if you're into RC cars, I don't know if this is good. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm being harsh on it. I don't know. I do know that this is garbage, though. This is the Cyber World Ultimate Megatron. It's obviously a G2 version that turns into this truck thing. I don't think it has much articulation at all. It seems pretty bricktacular. God, I mean, look at it. I mean, look at it. It's not, does that impress you? It doesn't, I don't know. It doesn't impress me. Just, it's not for me. But this is pretty impressive. I'm not going to say a word. Oh, I thought, oh, that's the pre-order. I'm sorry. I thought it was more images. That's the pre-order. Swapticon 5-pack, I guess, if you're a Swapticon fan. I've seen this one. I didn't know that it wasn't out, I guess, in the US, and that's only coming out now. It's been here for several months. I mean, since before I got out of school in June for summer break, so several months. And it includes it's the Desert Dunes mission, and it includes Ramjet G2, Sandstorm, camo version of Optimus Prime, Hound, which is kind of cool, and G1 Scorponok. I guess if you like the Swapticons, I don't like that. I don't like any of, like, here's the thing. I think the Cyberverse stuff is all gimmicky junk taking up space on the shelf. I think the Swapticons is gimmicky junk taking up space on the shelf. I think the Jada stuff is gimmicky junk just taking up space on the shelf. It's space that could be used for Studio Series stock. It's space that could be used for Age of the Prime stock. It's even space that could be used for MP stock. But I don't think any of this gimmicky junk is... maybe it sells where you're to. It doesn't really sell here. You see some... Now and then you'll see some parent standing there. Maybe their kid got a birthday or something. They don't know what to be getting them. And they look at it and they think, oh, this is a cheap one. And they'll probably get it. But, like, you're buying your kid junk. Don't. Spend the extra few dollars and buy them something good. That's all. I'm sorry. I can't get behind it. We're going to come back and look at those images in a second. I already mentioned how tomorrow is these two lads for pre-order. I don't know if there's any images in there though. No, this is all the stuff from Walmart that's going sold. I'm not going into all of that. I already talked about that. So we're going to go in here. But before we do that, I'm going to check in with you guys again, see what you've been saying before we kind of run through all of that stuff. Let's see. I'm not sure how far back I got to go here, so bear with me. How far do I have to go here? I think about here. Yeah, it was about here-ish, I do believe. WWE is coasting entirely on brand recognition. Yeah, probably. The only wrestling shows I go to right now is NXT live shows because they cost $25, right? NXT is still priced well. I mean, I don't go to any. I haven't been to. The last time that they were here was, I think, 2007. Because to get here, you either got to fly in or you got to go on a ferry, and I don't know if it's worth it to them, to be honest with you. And I think the main event, I'll tell you how long ago it was. The main event, no, they came after 2007. The main event was Kane versus Jericho. That was the main event. And before that, they were here a few years earlier. I want to say 04 maybe. Maybe it was a little earlier than that. And the main event was Edge or Adam Copeland and Kurt Angle. So that could tell you how far back it was. Haven't been here in a long time. And they won't come here. I don't believe with the business they're in now, I don't ever see them coming here again. Hey, Shao. I hope I'm saying that right. If I'm not, I apologize. I didn't pick up the Perceptor 3-pack. Already had the SS Perceptor with the upgrade kit. Yeah, that was me too. Like, I have a back filler on my Perceptor and whatnot, right? So, like, I didn't really need the 3-pack one. And I even have a Ram Horn. Those the Titans Return. It was nothing in it for me, really, right? Hey, Steve. Who do you prefer, Sunny Kiss or Giselle Shaw? In the ring, I think they're both talented. In the ring, I think Sunny Kiss is more talented. However, I like that Giselle, like, she owns it. She absolutely owns it. She knows the hate and the flack that's out there against her, and she doesn't care, and she owns it. And I'm happy to see her thriving under Scott D'Amore in Maple Leaf, in the whatever it is, the Maple Leaf promotion, Maple Leaf Wrestling, whatever it is. Quintus Prime, yeah, Squiditron, right? Bruticus is the only combiner I'm getting. I like the colors of Sure Shot. And I kind of agree with you on both counts, Albert. Quintus looks like something from Unicron's nose. Fair enough. I get that. I heard Earthspark season 4 will be happening. I doubt it. I'd love to see it happen, but I doubt it. And I haven't heard anything that would indicate that at all. I like the mold, but I'm just so sick of it. So why reveal another version of it? I'm assuming you're talking about Jalopy. Yeah, I agree. It's been reused a lot. Windcharger is just mistransformed. That gap is rather unsightly, hopefully. Yeah, I mean, hopefully it is. And it wouldn't be the first time that they've mistransformed something. So you never know. Windcharger might be one of the few figures I get next year with the price increases along with the new Thundercracker. Yeah, I heard that some places were getting price increases. Hey, Nar. Geez, that Windcharger really needs a DNA kit. Disappointing. Really? Why does it need a DNA kit? I mean, here's the thing. I'm never, ever going to say anything needs an add-on kit. Because I don't know if you guys have noticed or not, but have you noticed the prices of these add-on kits? In a lot of cases, they're more than the figure. Like, I'm not getting an add-on and paying more for it than I paid for the figure. That's insane. No, thank you. The blast effect thing can stick on his butt, which is hilarious. Electromagnetic power, yeah, but like I don't remember what exactly it does. I know it held them all together for the fake Menosaur and stuff, but like, is it because of the magnetism? Is that what it was? I don't have primary arachnid, but I won't get her. I won't get 86 Optimus too complicated for transformation, but if you can respect us, please. I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't disrespected anyone, but you're wrong about the 86 Optimus. You keep saying that it's too complicated. I'm telling you now, it's not. Get it in hand and do it, and you're going to see that it's absolutely not too complicated. It is shockingly buttery smooth. It looks complicated, but once you've done it 2 or 3 times, you will see that it's absolutely not. You're doing yourself a disservice by saying it's too complicated. It's not. Earthrise is more complicated than 86 Optimus. That's what I'd say. The Earthrise, and if you can do the Earthrise, you can do the 86 Optimus. As for Arachnid, great character. The Transformers Prime one is garbage. Throw it in the garbage, burn it, set it on fire, get rid of it. It never should have existed. Get this as Arachnid or get Night Countess. It's really as simple as that. There's nothing to disrespect. I'm calling it as I see it, and I'm being as honest as I am. Make of it what you will. Like it, don't like it, I don't care. I collect Jada diecast cars. Fine. But this is a large shelf space that's being taken up by this RC car that's not going to sell. I think the little Jada stuff is a lot cooler. I think RC cars are cool. I just don't think what they're doing with the Optimus and the Bumblebee is. I don't think it's well executed. And I'm not going to lie and say, oh, it is, because somebody's feelings might be hurt. I don't really care. I'd rather be honest. I'd rather be honest with you guys. That's the thing. I'd rather be a straight shooter with you guys. My Walmart has like 30 Cyberworld Grimlocks, and they are all taking up so much shelf space. Same as is that Scorponok that like doesn't move. So you're saying to me it is complicated no matter what, but it's not. You're lying to yourself. You've set yourself on the idea that it is from what you've seen, and I'm telling you it's not. You don't have to believe me, but you're wrong. And I'm not going to say that you're right just because it might hurt your feelings. I'm sorry, but no, I'm not doing that. And you saying that it's too complicated to other people is doing a disservice as well, because you're telling other people it's too complicated when I'm telling you it's not. I thought it was going to be too. And I'm willing to bet you. See, D-Dog, 86 OP, probably the best ever. And I'm not just saying it. I'm not an MP guy because I think it's too complicated. There's lots of stuff I think is too complicated, and I don't like it. Lots. 86 Optimus is not one of it. The legs are super simple, and I mean super simple. It's 2 flaps to flip up, 2 flaps to flip on the side, and then you just turn the tires out. That's it. Lower body's done. There's 1 flap that swings down. Leave it hanging. For the upper body, that's super easy. The 2 rib pieces just go back. The arms do your traditional Optimus arms thing. And then you turn the upper chest around, and the back is right there. I'm telling you, don't do yourself a disservice. Don't say that it's too complicated without trying it, because I thought the same. And when I tried it, I expected to do the review and say, hey, the Earthrise is better. This is too much. It's too overly engineered. It didn't need to be all of this. And I'm telling you now, I was shocked at how buttery smooth good it is. I've never led you astray, and I'm not leading you astray now, but I'm not going to condone, and I'm not going to allow the spread of misinformation here. And misinformation is that it's too complicated. If you're saying it is for you, cool. But I'm telling you, it's not too complicated for you. If you want to believe that, you can, and that you're right. But you're doing yourself a disservice. And I'm willing to bet everybody in the chat agrees with me. I'm going to go on, because I want to get this done and get out of here. What time is it? How am I doing anyway? Yeah, 8:20. We're doing fine. New York Comic Con. All right, this is the good stuff. It's been a while since we've had some New York Comic Con stuff showing off, so I was kind of excited to see this. The Titan class Grimlock. This looks great. I'm not going to lie with the Optimus on. This looks splendid. You might say it's very monochromatic. I agree, but that's the way he was in the film. The only thing that bothers me is I feel like we've seen a lot of him in Dino mode and not a lot of him in robot mode. And I'd like to see more of him in robot mode, and not just in robot mode, but I want to see him in dynamic poses because I want to see all the articulation. Dino mode's cool. I just want to see more of the robot mode. I do think that there is room here to include more silver paint, like down here on the feet. I wish there was more silver paint, but for what it is, I think it's pretty darn good. This is the big, broad displays. I'm not going to focus too much on these. Here you have a bunch of the primes, and you have some of the Lyle Kaiser stuff over here. Actually, why don't I tell you what was on display, and then we could just quickly go through it. The Lyle Kaiser stuff, the Grimlock, Arachnid, Barricade from Studio Series, the Wind Charger, the Transformers 1 Alpha Trion, the new Thundercracker mold, which looks splendid. Love it. The Last Night Nemesis Prime, which is just the Optimus in darker colors with a bit of purple. The Soundwaves on display, the Retro Wheelie, Big Convoy and Razor Claw, Amalgamus Prime, Brawl, and the animated Wrecker. All three of those are Voyagers, by the way. The Jalopy again, the Blast Off, Quick Strike, Quintus, and Sure Shot. So a lot of the stuff we saw with the Takara items, but you get to kind of see more of it here. Some of the football helmet stuff and whatnot. Again, this is the day one stuff, right? There's the retro wheelie, some of the Hearts of Steel stuff over here. But then we get in a bit closer with Superion and Devastator. They look pretty toe to toe there. I like that we have a set of the aerial bots down here and a set of the Constructicons down here as well. I think that's really cool. The Nemesis Prime here, again with the Minicons. The pre-orders, as you know, are up for that if you're in for that. I mean, again, Lyle Kaiser lads being the breast force here, or the chest force, or whatever you want to call it. Destrons, they get a lot of names. I still feel like look how bulky he is. I'm glad to see how deep the knee is, but there's a lot behind that thigh, dude. I wish the thigh was a bit longer. I'm glad to see that the arm can pivot out while leaving all of the junk here on the shoulder kind of down a bit. Again, Jaruga or Jalguar, whatever you want to call him, he looks great. I wonder how hollow his chest is behind his chest minion, though. Again, here, and yes, there is wrist rotation, by the way. Drillhorn has the same sort of bulk that Kill Bison does. I mean, Guy Hawk looks pretty good, though I do feel like the lines on the head sculpt here are a little softer than they are on the Combiner Wars version. I really like this version of Leozak. I think that this turned out really well. I wish there was a flap here on this arm. I really do. I think there was room for that for something that's crowdfunded. Hellbat looks pretty good. The wings are down on his legs, I think. I love the Death Cobra here. Yeah, there's some junk behind him because that's where kind of the front of the helicopter is. But you know what? That's the character model. The junk is there in the cartoon form too, in his ever so limited appearance. Again, I think there could have been a flap here. The wheelie looks fine, but again, look at the lower legs, not the feet. Not the feet. I think the feet are different, but I think the lower legs. I don't think it's the same as Sure Shot, but I think there's. I think the design is very similar, but with remolded parts. That's what I would say. I do like the alt mode. I think that turned out really good. The robot mode, I mean, it's wheelie. It's fine. They always give him the same pose. Outback looks great. I love the bulk around his head as well. I mean, it looks like Outback, you know? Nothing mind-boggling or earth-shattering, but it's a good-looking Outback. I'll say this, though. I do wish that his upper arms were also silver, since his entire arm is silver. I don't know how easy or hard that would be to do, considering the transformation. I'll have to check that out. The Hearts of Steel Bumblebee and Megatron on display. A little more here with the Grimlock. I like how the tail comes out here. The Wreck-Gar, and I said when we got Trashmaster, I said we're gonna get an animated Wreck-Gar out of this, right? I said from day one we were getting this, and a lot of people agreed, and now we got it. And yes, it's definitely a bit stylized for Wreck-Gar, but like I look at this and I'm like, yeah, I see it. I get it. This is Wreck-Gar. I get it. I think it works. Love the head sculpt. Brawl is one of those, like, I think questionable Voyagers, but you know what? The more I see him, the more I'm like, the mass might be there. He might be dense because he's also a foot, let's remember, like a foot and like a shin. And I think Onslaught is going to come down and be the thigh and like the back of the shin. I think it's kind of how it's going to work. And with Brawl here, you can get a much better look at just how much of an adaptation this is from the Slingshot mold. It's obviously going for the same sort of thing. Jalopy again, the shuttle mode. I think that Blast Off being on this Bruticus as a shuttle is one of the things that is going to draw a lot of people, especially if you didn't get the Combiner Wars Blast Off and shuttle mode and you just have the plane mode, even though I think the plane mode makes the most sense. Again, Razor Claw here. This is actually a great mold. Now, here is a mold, Blue Raccoon, that I look at and I'm like, this might be too complicated. I could see if you said, this is too complicated. There's a lot of intricate movement to this guy. I love it. I think it's brilliant. But if I was to sit down with him right now, where I haven't used him in a while, and do the transformation, I think I would have to think it through. It wouldn't be intuitive. The 86 Optimus, 100% intuitive. I can take the KOs, I can take him, and I'm to the point now where I can do that conversion in 2 minutes, maybe 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes, and that's pushing it because it's just that smooth. So again, there are instances where things I think are too complicated. This is one of them. 86 Optimus is not. I even think 86 Ultra Magnus is more complicated because of the weird way you got to move the knee, even though that's really good. But I think that's complicated. The Optimus isn't. I hope, man, do I hope, because I have the original Big Convoy, and I've said, I don't really think I need another Big Convoy. I've said that a bunch of times. But I really hope that they do a Nemesis repaint of this because I'd love to have the mold because this looks beautiful. I don't think I want to replace my big Convoy, but this is really beautiful. I love the texture detail. I love the 2 hinges here, at least for the trunk, so it can go all the way up. I love that you can take off his tusks. The Alpha Trion, he looks great as well. I don't need him, but you know what? If you don't have the Titan's Return, get this as a Shattered Glass Alpha Trion because it has the Shattered Glass alt mode. More here with Wind Charger. It still looks hollow to me, man. Like back here, that I don't know. The body looks a bit hollowish to me. Look at this. Like all of this looks real hollow to me, man. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not, but it sure feels that way looking at the images here. Like, look at what I'm guessing is Quintus, or yeah, I guess this is part of Quintus. And like, it's kind of, you know, like you see it even through here. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I want them, but I think a lot of people are going to say that the hollowness is a bit inexcusable. The Nemesis Prime, again, the colors are just darker, really. The face obviously has that red streak and has the purple eyes, but it's that same leader mold that we got now. More here of Quick Strike. And again, you see there's like an opening in here. I don't know if it could take a blast effect. That'd be cool if it could. Looks like it could take a blast effect in there. Bunch of ball joints for the snake, a la the original. I find it interesting that he looks a lot more black here than the brown of the original. And the reason I said the transformation is different is because if you look at the torso here, you can easily tell that that torso is different than the original torso. Really intrigued to get this guy. Glad he got a waist swivel too. That's been confirmed. Sure Shot looks great. Really, really happy with how he looks. Love Quintus. This is beautiful. I would say I would say second to Onyx. Quintus is the one thought about as how are they ever going to pull off this design because it's so wild. And I think they pulled it off pretty darn well. Quintus should really have 4 arms, so I really wish these two cheap little tendrils here were not even necessarily full on arms, but I wish they were fingered arms a little more. But I'm not going to nitpick about that because I think everything else that they've done is so good. From his 4 eyes to all of his tentacles and tendrils down bottom to the way that they sort of light up, yet he still has hidden legs. All of these pieces, by the way, are hip skirts and stuff. They can all move to get out of the way. So he has full leg articulation, which I love. I love the alt mode, as weird and wacky and wild as it looks. It I look at it and I think to myself, I can see where Quintesson's got their ships from into this. I understand how that technology evolved. Amalgamous is, again, one of those that I was like, I'm not sure how they're going to pull this off, but I think this is brilliant. Endless alt modes. I think it looks like the coloration largely of his Transformers 1 component. I'm okay with all of this. I really am. Really, really love it. The big convoy, again, looks beautiful. I do like, rather than ball joints for these behind the head, I do like how it looks like there's hinges for it. I think that's a smart idea. I also like how it's one full foot. The original, the toe and the heel, can both pivot and move, but they're 2 separate pieces, which is weird. But it pulls it off. Again, if I didn't have the one I have, the anime accurate one, if I had the original, by the way, I would upgrade to this because it's animation accurate. But if I didn't have the anime accurate one that I have, I would definitely want this. As it is, I still want it, but I think I'd love a Nemesis repaint of it, just like they did the the Nemesis Leo Prime. Do a Nemesis of this. It'll sell. I promise you, it'll sell. It'll sell to me. Arachnid again, and again, she's weird and wacky. Before a representation of the character, whether you have a Transformers 1 display or whether you just like the character or whether you have a Transformers Prime display, because I think she's spindly and weird enough that she can fit in a Transformers Prime display no problem as the character. The barricade it's all right, honestly. When I look at the lower legs, though, I don't like what looks like weird car parts as his feet. I think I prefer the robot mode of the original mainline version, but I like the coloration and the head sculpt of this better. I also don't really like this. This is Blaster. That's supposed to be his blaster that it goes in his sidearm. Because it doesn't look good. This does look good. This looks great. Really love the way that turned out. And then we get to Thundercracker. How can you not like this? This takes everything wrong with the Earthrise and fixes it. It gives you, for example, a more filled in side of the body with this piece. It gives you forearms and biceps that are fully filled in all around, especially the biceps. You get wrist rotation that you lost on the Earthrise. You get separate hip skirts instead of it being one piece that just flips up. You don't have the weird piece going across the cockpit. It's just part of the cockpit. The legs are more the correct shape. You have the thruster feet, which you should have without the weird open toes. You do not have wings on the side of the ankles. That was wrong with the Luxes from Classics. It was wrong with the Earthrise. I love this. Can't wait to replace the Earthrise with this. Absolutely hate that. Absolutely love this. Love that these come off and they go tabbed in behind the wings too. I don't care that it's part forming because it fills in behind the wings with mechanical detail and stuff. Love it. The Soundwave looks good. He's not a bad Soundwave by any stretch of the imagination. But I feel like the blue is kind of light for the cartoon, and I still feel like the shoulder bicep proportion just isn't hitting the mark for G1. It is hitting it for Devastation. I don't know. A lot of people have come back since and said that they feel the same way. But I don't think it's bad. Let's not make the mistake that I think this is bad. I don't think it's a leader class, though. And I might have to have it in hand to see. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I do think that the cassette mode looks good. The cassette recorder mode looks good. I like this display. And I looked at it and I counted up 10. And I'm like, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And primer right in front that's hard to see in front of Star Convoy. And I said 10. I said, but wait, there's only like, a few left now to get to 13. There's only 4 left. I was like, who's missing? Vector's not in here. Vector is not in there, even though he should be in there. So this should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then 12, 13 that's left. The last 2 that's left should be the Liege Maximo, of course, and Nexus. However, they're going to pull Nexus off, even though they said he's still going to combine. So I don't know. I have all of these except like the newest ones, right? So we're getting there. I don't have the Star Convoy. Well, I mean Onyx and Alpha Trion, right? But like all of these are like in the ballpark, right? Except for the big convoy or the Star Convoy, though I do have a version of Star Convoy. Any Optimus does as the 13th. If you want to use this Star Convoy, use it. If you want to use 86, use it. If you want to use Prime, use it. If you want to use Earthspark, use it. If you want to use the other Star Convoy, use it. Whatever. It's Optimus. And that brings us back to the beginning, which means we can close that. And we're back here. I'm going to check in with you guys. Again, I'm going to go up here a bit. Let's see here. Let's see. How far back do I have to go here? I know I went through a lot there, so. A while ago, Dennis said not to use Earthrise Seekers. And I stand by that. Earthrise Seekers are garbage. They were overpriced. I'm sorry. If you like it, you like it. I don't care if you like it or not, but they're not good. They're just not good. And they're not bad either. But if we're talking about the main trio, why would you go from in Siege having waist and wrist and you don't have the wings on the legs to all of a sudden no waist, no wrist, it's hollow. You got the wings on. It's just wrong. The new one, again, you're assuming that it's going to be too hard to transform. Why would you assume that? If anything, it's probably going to be easier than the Earthrise ones because the Earthrise ones doing those legs, doing those arms, like you don't find that complicated? Because I do. I find compressing those arms very complicated. People who don't know any better will see the size versus cost against the size versus cost. What? People who don't know any better will see the size versus cost against the size versus cost of an AOTP figure, and not knowing any better will grab the junk thinking it's a better value. Yes, that's what they're preying on. I saw a woman today who picked up this Bumblebee. Junk. I know it's junk because I reviewed it when it came out in Cyberverse. And I reviewed it only because it kind of came to me by accident from, I think, a thrift store. And it was like that ultimate Bumblebee. Like it was awful. It really was awful. And I wanted to go over to the woman and I wanted to knock it out of her hands and say, don't buy that for your child. Do not buy that for your kid. Buy something else. But I mean, you're in a store. You can't really go over and do that, right? Hoping to get the RTS Perceptor. I'm telling you now, Blue, if you are thinking 86 Optimus is complicated and you want the RTS Perceptor, you're not going to be happy with them because it is the second worst score I ever gave to a figure. It is a horrendous transformation. Horrendous transformation. If you want an easy transformation, do yourself a favor and get the 86 or get the More Than Meets the Eye. That's the easiest Perceptor transformation you're going to get. Now, if you just like the robot or you just want to do a fan mode for the RTS, get it. But I'm telling you now, if you have an issue with complicated transformations, the RTS is not the one to get. It's way more complicated than the other things. My local Walmart has almost no TF stuff. Neither do ours, but they just like this week got like fully loaded. I said I think Wind Charger needs an add-on kit because of how hollow it is. The back of the legs are just bad. Maybe it's not that big a deal, but I hate me too. So you shouldn't say he needs an add-on kit. What you should say is Hasbro should have done the damn figure right. And if they can't, then maybe they need to go back to the drawing board. Don't say we need to spend more money to do something that should have been done right in the first place. Start holding the company that produces it accountable and say the company should have done it right. And I'm not going to buy this until they do it right. And I think you would find, as if by magic, all of a sudden Hasbro would start going the extra mile. It's the same thing with the ticket prices, like for the wrestling events where like WWE is, resting on its brand recognition. And they keep putting up the prices. Eventually, that's going to hit a ceiling. And people are going to say, yeah, I'm done. No more. Same thing's going to happen here. It'll hit a ceiling and people will say, I'm done. No more. But as long as people are willing to pay this for the figure and then go out and pay that much or more for an add-on kit to put fillers in for like hollow legs, and you spend another $40 or $50 on that kit to do that, now you've spent what, $80 on a deluxe wind charger? Sorry, I don't see the logic in that. Like, I love DNA Design, but their prices on their kits have gotten idiotic. For example, they reissued when the Fort Max was reissued. They reissued the feet for Fort Max. Now, for some weird reason, when that first came out, it was $39.99, and the reissue for some reason was $79.99. Like, really? You have gone up from $40 to $80. You've literally doubled it. Sorry, there's a problem there, and it's $80 for feet. And a couple of ratchets for the hips. Okay. Sorry, I don't believe it cost you that much to do it. 86 Optimus has a ton of steps, but it's very intuitive, lots of fun. It is very intuitive. That's the thing. Just because it has a lot of steps doesn't mean it's complicated. Because here's the thing. As you fold everything in, at least on all three copies, my KOs and my actual one, everything just goes together smooth. I'm not trying to fiddle to get stuff in. I fiddle more with like Studio Series Bumblebee than I ever do with 86 Optimus Prime. I think like the Studio Series Bumblebee movie Bumblebee is hot garbage because I've never first nor last could get it in true alt mode, not without a ton of gaps. But everything on Optimus just falls right into place. It's so slick. Let's see. I know I'm skipping some stuff. Difficult to know what's true, but it looks like Transformers Earthspark is getting a season 4. It's mostly done already. I mean, I haven't seen beyond season 2, episode 5 because it hasn't aired here yet. So I don't know what to say. We don't even have season, let alone season 3. The most I've seen, it airs here on YTV. The most I've seen is season 2, episode 5. So I don't know. Instead of the 86 Optimus, get the KO version of Optimus. You could do that. That's cheap as dirt. Hey, Tony. Let's see. Finally got Sideways and nabbed Alpha Trion. Sideways is great. Really great. And honestly, that Alpha Trion seems like a great Alpha Trion. Sans beard, right? You got to know what it is that he is intending to homage. And it's a very specific homage for that Alpha Trion. I never met Jobby in person, but he's not my next door neighbor. But he said he lives in California. Interesting. Maybe he does. I think if I saw him though, I'd probably go the other way. He's a bit of a salty dude. I find the Bayverse too confusing. I saw someone use the 86 Devastator and make him look like Movieverse Devastator. I saw that too. That was a very interesting fan mode. I wonder if we'll get a retro wind charger after the main release. I would think we would with a different head. I would bet we would. Sometimes I hit emojis. What? Emojis videos for assistance. I don't know what you're saying there. My comments can't seem to get in emojis. Oh, MGo's comments. I'm sorry. My comments can't seem to get in MGo's comments. I'm still subscribed, but don't know why. That's weird. I've heard that he never replies to anyone, though, which is a shame. Dude has a big following. Like, show some appreciation to your community. The head sculpt for Wreck-Gar is great, but the rest is pretty different. But I think I could live with it. Activate torpedo mode. I can see that. Razor Claw has a lot more red than the universe version. Yes, it does. Nar says, I've never picked up a wheelie, and I like this. What? And I like the mold looks of the new one, but he is maybe going to be too big. That's what a lot of people are saying. They are saying he looks nice, but I feel like for wheelie of all characters, it might be too big. I don't like the look of it because I'm not a toy accurate guy. I think that they'll do the wheelie using that mold again. I mean, I have the 86 and I have the Titans Return. I feel like either one of those is a little more accurate to his size, but that's just me. I sold my big convoy years ago. This one will fill the spot absolutely, and I honestly, I see no reason to not get it. He looks splendid. It's an excellent update. There's no doubt about it. Wind Charger's forearms are a bit chunky. Yeah, but Wind Charger's forearms are always a bit chunky. Losing signal a little. I don't know why you'd be losing signal a little. Although, honestly, it might be the weather because here all day, internet and like mobile data and stuff has been a bit spotty. So it might be the weather here, honestly. I prefer the original Barricade movie design over that one. That's fair. That's not what I was talking about. When I said the original Barricade, I mean the original Last Night Barricade. I found what? I've heard critiques about the 86 Seekers not having enough greebling, which I kind of get. What? I don't know what greebling is. What's greebling? Still looks amazing. I don't know what greebling is. Thundercracker looks great. I mean, he looks like he jumped off the cartoon. So I think the critics of his look need to go back and watch the cartoon and look at the Seekers because he's a perfect animation accurate Seeker. Thundercracker looks amazing. I've actually seen people complain he looks too plain. He looks like the cartoon. Blue looks like it might be lighter, but again, his blue was light in the cartoon. Greebling is little details. I've never heard the word in my life. That's a new word to me. Never heard of it. I don't want little details. I want flat surfaces. As a matter of fact, that's something Starscream wife specifically likes. She's like, I prefer the flat surfaces because it looks like the cartoon. Hey, Felon. I have not gotten the BBTS message yet about RC. Hopefully soon. I don't know what that message is, but I don't know what that message is. I asked Input if he can make a custom TLK Barricade. I haven't heard or asked for a while. Out of what mold? I'd be curious to know what mold you would like him to make a custom Barricade out of. Okay. I'm going to lay this here because that's the unboxing. Let's do the trivia. Let's do the trivia. I think that this is a pretty easy trivia. Let's see what you guys say. Who is generally considered to be the 2 fastest aerial bots after Silverbolt? So Silverbolt is obviously going to be the fastest because he's a Concorde. But who are the 2 fastest generally after him, according to a lot of sources, a lot of fiction, and a lot of fans? Is it the duo of A, Fireflight and Slingshot, B, Air Raid and Slingshot, C, Air Raid and Skydive, or D, Fireflight and Skydive? A, B, C, or D? Fireflight and Slingshot, Slingshot and Air Raid and Skydive, or Skydive and Fireflight? Who do you guys think? Fireflight and Slingshot. Okay, we got one there. Which missing link are you guys? Oh, the missing link. B, A, B, C with a question mark. Got any more? Got any more? We got C. Pink, felon. He said pink. The answer is indeed C, Air Raid and Skydive. All right. I knew we were going to have a long show tonight because there was so much coming out of NYCC. Let's do the unboxing and get out of here. And this shouldn't come as any surprise. We have been working our way through the Wave 3 Age of the Primes. We've been doing the deluxes. We did take a break there with the Legacy United Optimus. By the way, Daryl, don't forget you got to drop by here tomorrow on your way home from work. Don't forget to bring those other items, and you can pick up your lads. Tomorrow will be the last of the Wave 3 Deluxes, the last of the Aerial Bot Limb Deluxes with Fireflight. Next week, next Tuesday, we will do Silverbolt. And we'll focus on Silverbolt. I will give Silverbolt. I'll start him out in his alt mode because that's the way he comes in package. Then I'll talk about I'll say his weapon embankment base mode thing and his robot mode. That's when I'll give the scores. Then I will show the transformation to Superion. But we're not going to talk anything about Superion. I'm just going to get the skeleton done because on Friday we will do. Oh, Daryl's probably going to be jealous because he has not had a chance to actually put this guy together yet. We will do full on Superion, and we will even compare him to the Combiner Wars lad. Obviously, a little hard to compare these because see if I can hold this guy up here. So the Age of the Primes one is actually bigger. I'll give it that. The Combiner Wars one, toy accurate. The Age of the Primes one, animation accurate. Little hard to compare them. The Combiner Wars one, definitely lighter weight and definitely more sleek and slender. Like if I flatten out those wings, like very, very slender body, slender legs on the guy. And that's what I love about him because he's so poseable because he's so slender. Put that down there. Then you got this guy. And he is big and bulky and animation accurate. And people love him. I'll say this. I do think that this was executed better than the Menasor was. But I'm not going to lie. I absolutely, positively hate the legs. I detest how this turned out. I really, really don't like it. It's fine, but like wherever you're going to set this guy up, man, you need to give him so much space for the back of his legs. Unless you're not going to put the aerial bots on there. I do find putting Skydive on much harder. Do I like this, though? Do I think it's good? Do I think it's functional? Well, that's what we'll find out next Friday. So tomorrow, Fireflight, then Silverbolt, then that guy. And then we'll move on to something else. But we'll talk about that and that unboxing next week. That's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about that unboxing next week. That said, my friends, this was a long one. We got a little spicy, got a little salty. right? Got a little salty. Tomorrow is the weekend. I will say it now. This weekend in Canada is Thanksgiving Day weekend. So I'm going to say happy Thanksgiving now. I know that to anybody in the US, it's not your Thanksgiving Day weekend, but the sentiment still holds now because I'm sure that when you guys celebrate yours, you'll say the same to me, even though it's just another day for me. I find it so weird every year because I'll say happy Thanksgiving early in October. And then when people in the US get it and have that holiday and stuff, you'll always, on Thursday night, you'll say, hey, happy Thanksgiving. And you know, you got Black Friday the next day and it's a holiday weekend for you guys stuff. But like, I just got off work, 27th. Sorry, I just got off work and that Friday, like I don't go Black Friday shopping. I do not go near the mall. I just get up and I go to work. It's just another day for me. So it's just one of those differences that I always find funny. So happy Thanksgiving. It's early. I'll take your happy Thanksgivings when they're belated a little later on. That said, those of you who get a long weekend like me, enjoy it. Those of you who just have a regular run of the mill weekend, well, you know what? Still enjoy it. And I'll see you guys back here next week. Of course, thank you for coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring. Of course, you can hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. While you're at it, hit the subscribe button. Stick around and have some fun with us here on the channel. And don't forget, not for a moment, not for a second, that you right there, you do make a difference in the world. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams, at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way, inside the videos.